Tallahassee. I don't know shit about Tallahassee. All I know about Tallahassee is that all the characters in Zombieland are named after locations, and Woody Harrelson's named Tallahassee.
The cave is really a man-made hole breaching into an earthen mound. The man, khakis dirtied by kneeling on the rough earth, has assembled a macabre little pile of skulls to the side.
What are you doing?
Readying these for sale, friend. He wipes his hands on his pants. This pile of skulls, clearly claimed from his enemies by an Indian chieftain, would be perfect for any cabinet of curiosities or sideshow attraction.
But why dig up a grave?
Why, these skulls belong to no one. They're just here, lying under this mound, waiting for an enterprising soul to make something of them. Isn't this what America's all about?
Look deeper into the mound.
Little sunlight reaches that deep in, but you can still see the skeletal remains, their heads carelessly removed, laying neatly in their excavated resting places, each one lovingly surrounded by stone effigies, earthenware, and copper plates in the shape of winged warriors.
Threaten the man.
You pause and consider this small man, greedily arranging someone's remains as though they were a trinket for a mantelpiece.
Make up a ghost story.
It's crude and ridiculous, but he's a crude and ridiculous man. You have him run off the mound, sworn never to tell of what he's seen, for fear of monsters and ghosts. It's a small thing, but a kindness, you hope.
A grave robber at the burial mound. Yeah, that was... oh. Texture's not quite lining up, is it? Yeah, that was fucked up. I think I remember a character from the first Red Dead Redemption, I think, that was somebody who didn't respect the dead and kind of referred to his grave robbing as like the the American dream. We're hiring pickers, the farmhand says. Today only. He drives you over. 30 or 40 people are already making their slow way across an impossibly fast field that touches the hazy horizon. Back-breaking work, but the folks are friendly, and the pay is okay. Make me a little money. The downside of the whistling is that it overrides the music in a way that I don't really want it to. But it's supposed to make me go faster. Rick tells a story about the fisherman and his fish calling seagulls. You realize it's the story of the seagulls and the fisherman, but changed in a few major ways. It's not bullshit. So now instead of being indicative of whether or not there's going to be a harvest, these seagulls magically call the fish for the fisherman. Good gig for the fisherman, I suppose.
A family of 9 invites you into their home for a meal. Hogs roam free in the yard. They wallow in shady patches of cool mud, not paying any mind as you pass.
Eat with the family.
During supper, the hard wind puts an awful burden on the walls. The glass dishes rumble on the table, but the mother seems calm. Can't butcher a hog in these parts without me, Ma, hollering for pig's feet.
Could we share?
The mother's heavy sigh gives you the impression her children ask this often. Me, Ma, wants more pig's feet. Heaven can provide.
Me, Ma, just real loves her pig's feet. What do you got against pig's feet, huh?
Oh, it is a good day to see you, child. Just need a little company is all. But a celebration of life today. Young man, 17, maybe 18. Closed casket. They did that boy wrong, they did. I suppose I'm glad I gave his family a little hope, at least. Lately, my journey's been pretty ordinary. Just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures?
This guy feels like he talks just a little too fast. Adventures. What sounds adventurous? Got sad stories. This is the adventure icon, it feels like, but these are all sad stories. The rider in the woods near Richmond.
Sorry, that kind of thing don't scare me anymore, if that's what you're going for. Traps and chains, they don't keep us chained up metal no more. They carry the metal instead and show us how quick they'll use it. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? You must have heard some good ones.
Some good scary stories. This is the scary icon, right? The devil that leads.
Oh, you could rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. Sadness? I was waiting in it today. That poor congregation. Normally you'd get a local pastor for something like a funeral, but the old boy died his own self, and the church's deacon is still in mourning. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Oh, I got spooky still. Spooky comes easy to me for some reason. Although you've heard some of mine now. Yeah, the wounded soldier that faded away into dust.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. The past, I didn't know the boy, so I asked his brothers and sisters to share their memories of it. He danced, they said, loved baseball, called his father Big Man. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right?
Spooky again. Anonymous graves. The seance. That's a good one.
Oh, you got me for a second with that one. Fate and fortune. Well, crimes like this make destiny something easy to believe in. It washes our hands. It tells us there's nothing that could have been done. But it washes the hands of the offender, too. It is fearful resignation and nothing more. You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen?
The shootout? I already showed you the shootout. Exciting doesn't come easy for me. Shit. This is the last one for the day, too. So I gotta nail this or I'm gonna have to come find him again. There's a few worrying ones where I don't know how to categorize them. That stuff's all worrying. Gonna have to spend one of my wild cards, I think. Last chance to finish the eye. Come on, Quinn.
I swear I ain't heard a story good as that in a long minute. As a traveling man, I don't do funerals often. See, the burying is one thing, but the real service you provide is in the weeks to come as mourners turn over in their sleep and doubt creeps in. I know that pain intimately. Well, the night's over. I've got miles to go, of course. A long way to go alone. This poor boy is still haunting my head. I wish we'd been able to continue our talk. I don't have a preacher of my own to seek solace from, you know? My next leg takes me this way. Maybe we'll cross paths again. We seem to be lucky that way.
Now he's over where she went. Yeah, it's real risky to deal with him, though. Maybe I'll round them both up around the same time later on. Gotta reload. We're hiring pickers, same as before. Don't need to read that through.
You emerge from the underbrush and find yourself at the edge of a field. A farmhouse sits at the other end. Close by, a large family is tending to the plants together. They pause and regard you, almost nervously. "Hello there?" the grandmother asks.
Hello.
The family is almost too nice to you. When you ask for water, they don't even let you walk to the pump by the house. A child runs back to the shed for a folding chair, and they serve you lemonade in a glass among the lettuce heads.
Very kind.
Halfway through your glass, you notice someone moving furtively down by the house. The cuffs of his white shirt are stained red. The father sees your look and shifts to block your view. His eyes are bright, and his teeth are bared in something like worry. "How do you like your lemonade?"
It's great.
His wife arrives with a bag full of sandwiches for you, and the whole family ushers you back into the woods, waving, wishing you well. You take one look back over your shoulder. The man by the wall is gone.
I want lemonade and sandwiches. Here's some mighty fine folk. We'll just look past the bloodletting. What's a little bloodletting between friends? I'm a little worried about that. Something was up there, and it's concerning plenty. So they're chopping up something. It's probably murdered somebody. Oh, they don't. But I don't know. I was thinking like maybe they're murdering people and feeding them to their pigs or their crops, or even just eating them themselves. But they didn't go after me. I should be valid target too, but they didn't seem to target me. Maybe they have a particular grudge against a particular person and had a reason to kill them, and thought that I might notice. If it was cattle, they wouldn't be all squirmish. In fact, they could have excused it as being cattle related, and that would have been a better excuse than being so suspicious.
A sign in town says a farmer is hiring for the sugarcane harvest. A bag-eyed man drives you and 10 hungry strangers out into the cane, where he leaves you. Everyone gets a hatchet, but no instruction. The foreman is missing for some reason. Nobody is sure what to do.
Oh, great.
A young man in a red jacket stuffs all the hatchets in his pack. "This is stupid," he says. "I'm leaving. You can get $5 for a nice axe like this." He marches off into the cane and others follow. "Don't!" a young woman shouts after them. "It's not right."
She's right.
The thief left some hatchets behind, so you and the 3 chumps left start chopping cane. It's brutal work. None of you know what you're doing. "Keep going," the girl calls. Her hands are bleeding, and her face is bright with sweat. Soon, her cane is piled high.
Chop, chop, chop.
Sometime after noon, the truck rolls up with a boozy foreman riding shotgun. "Good work," he croaks. The girl wipes her blood-pinked hands on her apron to take her pay, but doesn't notice the crumpled body in the back of the truck, or the hatchets heaped beside it.
That's stressing. Sugarcane cutter's blind to the threat of death. Jesus Christ. That one got really morbid. What is the deal with that one exactly? Let's get over there. Probably could have pressed the other side. The sugarcane cutter's blind to the threat of death down by mobile. That one got unnerving. I'm still working on that lady, but I'm on my way there. Ah! Money icon, heart icon, and sleep icon are all on that screen. That's kind of neat. And the fast travel mechanics are pretty useful too. Right. I have dice. That means if I want to, not in a hurry to right now, but yep. Yeah, I should be able to teleport all the way back to Maine using these dice. That's a very useful mechanic, especially if you can remember where each one takes you. Get a few key ones, and you can very quickly get back to where certain people are hanging around. Definitely trying to hang around where the main characters are as best as I can to try to keep making progress on the key thing. Oh, I'm not necessarily in a hurry to do, like, be completionist about this game, like trying to find every single story of, like, the 200 plus. But I do need to be like, as I explore, I'll try to grab every single one I see, both because I'm interested in them and because you need a lot of them to win, as far as I can tell. But I drove myself insane probably trying to complete the entire map. So my priority is definitely the people.
Excusez-moi. Beckoning you over, the woman shows you a letter, beautifully typeset on thick vellum. You're struck by the scent of a fancy department store. She points on the parchment to the address. This address, you know? Her accent is very thick.
Probably not, considering I don't even know where I am most of the time, but yeah, take a closer look.
You are dismayed to read the first paragraph. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. And the address under the monogram in the letterhead. 12345 Road Street, Anytown, USA. The woman blinks, hopefully, leaning close over your shoulder. Yes? You know this place? She asks. Poor woman. She's been tricked.
There's nothing useful about making something up and not telling her. Like, we don't know how to get what she needs. We need to let her down easy, let her know what's happening here. Otherwise, she'll just keep wasting her time.
This place doesn't exist, you try to explain as loud and slowly as possible. Of course she exists. The woman snorts, thumping a fist to her chest. You struggle to make yourself understood, but the poor woman whisks the letter away and stomps down the street. Ah well, c'est la vie.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What does she think I said? That can't be good. That can't be good at all. Did I see something over here? Yeah, I did. You just gotta look past the Montgomery name. Yeah.
The lightning starts in the next valley over. Then the wind picks up. The long grass hisses, and suddenly, it's raining so hard you can barely breathe without a hand over your mouth.
Well, this looks familiar. Search for shelter?
The lightning momentarily illuminates a farmhouse on the opposite hilltop. The only one for miles. Much closer, though, is a silhouette of a dilapidated barn.
How about we head for the house?
You pound and pound on the door of the house, but you only get confused shouts from inside. Soon, you give up and head to the unlocked shed, where the empty wood bin makes a good enough bed.
At least it's dry.
In the morning, you're woken suddenly by the sound of clattering china. A tiny old woman bends over you, silently offering you coffee. She serves you half the pot before she lets you get up and leave for the morning.
That was kind of nice. Except for the part where they locked me out during the storm. Would they think I was a ghost? Wasn't nice. Kind Kind of thought the clatter of China was that they might have dropped it all in the surprise of seeing somebody there. I think that might have been the same icon of the other storm, the one that became the birds eventually. So there might be some recycled drawings. I was gonna say I was rather impressed by the idea of every single one of them having its own drawing.
The woman finds you as you wander the streets. "Come with me, child," she says, looking you up and down. "We're going to church."
Oh wow, yeah, I got duplicate drawings like right back to back. Okay. Okay.
You follow her to a simple clapboard building. There's no steeple, but a cross is painted on one side. Inside, after a rousing sermon, you're treated to a meal and given a worn but clean set of clothes. Works and not faith alone might be the motto of this place.
Well, that was nice. I mean, I got food for it. I guess I can live with that, huh? And here we got somebody. Oh, what's this? Which one of my stories is gonna change? This kindly old man, sharing the shade under the bridge with you, tells a few rambling stories. Some true-seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There's history in this place, going all the way back to the Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Can't all be true. Sure it is, he scoffs. And then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about the deer who chose death over enslavement. And this one, you know, is the story of the white deer, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. See then? The old man laughs. So I ain't pulling your leg, it's all true. He knows my deer story. I will say, what criticism I would have of this game, besides the technical performance issues that come up here and there, is just the, some of the stories are just, a lot of the stories really are just a little too short. So they very much come and go really quickly, like trading cards, which is kind of what they are, but you know, you want to get all involved in the stories. Admittedly, that would make this a hell of a lot longer, and it's difficult to make in general, but some of them are so brief that I'm like, huh, alright.
I take a look at you and figure we're heading to the same place. You've been walking a long time, same as me, trying to find where you fit.
Hey Lee, how you doing?
You ever wonder if that place don't exist? No shame in it, I do. Plenty of time I wonder if I'll just walk forever. You start to wonder, how did I get here?
This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful house.
When you're alone, all you have is all this time. Time to trace the lines back to where things started. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
Tragedies. I got tragedies. Oh yeah, that's not a tragedy anymore. Now it's this deer that's like a weirdly righteous deer. Oh yeah. Boy abandoned in the woods, level 2 story.
Body and soul. No one would say my father was free. Sometimes I think about whether my father would find my life all that different from his. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
You betcha I do. Yeah, the two brothers meeting after 50 years.
That was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know? Family. The Sharecroppers Union told me they were like a family. You ever get in a firefight for your brothers and sisters? You know any good jokes? Funny tales?
I basically still don't, but yeah, let's just throw some. Ooh, do not leave. Let's just go throw some stories away now, because I just want to level some things up. That eye looks as wide as it's gonna get. So let's do the weird anonymous grave where all the graves were, I always want to say, unmarked. And then there's some real tragedies of entire graveyards of unmarked graves and the sadness that that entails. But no, they weren't unmarked. They're functionally the same thing in that they weren't identified, but they were all marked with unknown.
Well, if you want to make me weep, it's gonna have to sound realer than that. Change. When I was a young man, it took a while for me to accept that all things change. When I did, I leaned into it hard. Sometimes you need to salt the earth to get where you need to go. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
He likes happy stories and hopeful stories, so I'm gonna tell him awful stories now to level those ones up. And hopefully those ones won't be necessary for him in the future. The seance.
Come on, you can't shock me. I felt lucky before. When I joined the Union, it seemed like I was riding on the backs of angels. Like it was a real opportunity. Like God was on my side. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
Oh, he does go back and forth a bit, doesn't he? The thirsty cotton pickers. Gotta turn this into something. It's not really much right now.
Well, I wish the world were like that, but it ain't. Wishes come true.
But I gave them the water. It's my story.
My father was born a slave, died free. I was born free, and as a young man, I still felt like I was dying a slave. Here's the sun, and I got to get going. My route goes up this way, but I sure did enjoy talking to you. It's probably the kind of story you've heard a million times. Down on your luck, need work, take whatever you can get. How about you? Does my life sound familiar?
He barely moved. I can see him right there. The camera's even already facing the right way. Funnily enough. I guess I'll just head right over. He was a pretty easy person to please so far. Also, I just want to hear more of that beautiful voice that I can't remember the voice actor's name right now. That's pissing me off a little bit. But it's the guy that plays Lee in Walking Dead. Here's the star. She's telling everyone in the party about the ghost who punished spiritualists for their hubris. It's clearly the story of the seance, but changed in a few entertaining ways. Seance. That's ghost who punished the spiritualists for their hubris. They didn't like that, huh? That changed quick. I just told him that one.
I suppose most expect a Negro to end up in prison. There's two kinds in my estimation. There's a prison with bars, where they lock you up after they decided you'd done a crime. And there's also the prison without bars. That's everywhere else, if you look hard enough. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
A tragedy. A tragedy. The woman that doesn't know that she's... Yeah. That might be a good one. She doesn't know the story, that the letter isn't real. It's a lot of individual directions to try to press with the joystick. You have to get real sensitive, like. Yeah, the boy and his dog's a tragedy.
Body and soul. I'm free now. After all those years of hard labor, they let me go. Kind of felt like being fired from a job. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
Where things work out for someone, maybe. I think that last one worked. Yeah, I wish I didn't tell him the cotton picker story. That actually became one of his things. It's technically the story of something working out. I don't remember what how to categorize the bottle one. That one's weird. What category did the church turn into? Where did it end up? Where did that end up? I'm not seeing it around here. Because the church people gave me some free food. That kind of worked out. Might have to cheat at this one.
That was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know? Some people travel because staying still makes them lose their minds. I'd like to meet those people. Ask them to trade lives for a while. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
Sad story. Should have a few of those still. I wish I was better at this. It's just a lot of directions to keep track of at once. I think I might have capped out. I think you can only have 3 of each kind. There might be, I think you can rearrange them in your inventory a little bit. Change which ones you're using. Sad story. The guy who's alright with his death, perhaps? Yeah. That one seemed pretty sad, even if he was resigned to it.
I wish the world were like that, but it ain't. The future? But what does a body do after they leave prison? Especially when it feels more real on the inside. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen out there so far?
The wildest thing? I'm having some trouble here. He didn't take that as a sad story, he took that as like a hopeful story, I suppose. The sugarcane cutter's blind to the threat of death by the mobile. That was wild, I suppose.
Come on, you can't shock me. Choice. Maybe we should have listened back in Eden. Maybe choice itself is our biggest sin. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
I'm apparently just blowing it today. This is a disaster all around. Did I tell him the dog? A lot of these are just canceled out now. I mean, the woman was a tragedy. Yeah. A letter that she can't deliver. She doesn't know where to go.
I guess we all got a different sense of humor.
Is this supposed to be a funny story? I don't have a home.
Realizing that you have nothing and belong nowhere feels both like death and freedom at the same time. Here's the sun. Well, I gotta get ready to leave. It was good talking to you, though you do have some funny ideas how to tell a good story. I'm heading up the road this way. Maybe we'll meet again. I'd like to tell you more about what it's like coming out of prison. About what it's like on the outside. And into prison without bars.
I did a terrible job. Stay the hell away from him. He's a difficult one. Huh. I just don't understand. I'm getting lost, I guess. I don't understand what some of my stories mean. And I also don't understand what he's asking for sometimes. Here's one where we can swap a story. I had the weird woman who wanted to go to church. Or the family of pig farmers. That was a weird, creepy one. I got a bunch of categories for that one. Not sure what to do with the cotton. The dreams of the cotton field was a birth, I guess. There's the farmers who gave us lemonade. Oh yeah, we're definitely getting more of some of these. Man who seemed alright with death. The man despairing about his future. I kind of want stories with clearer motivations. I need to make sense of what the hell they mean. If I don't know what they mean, then I can't really pick them and know what's going to happen. That's kind of one of my issues right now. I gotta get better at this. There's gonna be a lot of stories eventually. It's the same old man again. Sure, it's all true. He launches the story about the Jersey Devil, and this one you know. It's the story of the Devil of Leeds, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. Ah. My Devil of Leeds story became the Jersey Devil. That's interesting. Jersey Devil's a weird one, because every time you hear about the Jersey Devil, the entire idea of what it's supposed to look like or what it's supposed to do seems to change from person to person. Just kind of some kind of just weird cryptid that exists in the East Coast somewhere, and that's like kind of the only thing you can agree on.
You pass a meadow where migrants have made a campsite. It's been trampled to pieces. A few families are fleeing, running as fast as they can back up to the roadside. An enormous bull stretches himself beside some of their squashed supplies.
I mean, leave it be seems like something like nothing's gonna happen. What's up with the crown? Think something for yourself?
You inch close. As you're about to grab a bundle, the bull grunts and locks an eye with you. In a voice so like the sound of far-off thunder, you wonder if you've imagined it, he says, "Sorry."
The bull who terrorized travelers on the road. Sounds like he kind of didn't mean it. What is he, or is his sorry just indicating his denial of me getting what I want? That was a strange one.